Picture this. On an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, there was a rather rotund fellow named Gary waddling down Main Street, minding his own business. His day had been pretty standard until he spotted something peculiar, a pristine porcelain toilet sitting right there on the sidewalk, gleaming in the sunlight. Now, most people would have walked right past, but not Gary. No, Gary had a special sense for these things. As he approached the toilet, he noticed something even more unusual. There was chocolate inside. Not just any chocolate, mind you, but the most luxurious, velvety chocolate he'd ever laid eyes on. Now, I know what you're thinking, and yes, it's exactly as bizarre as it sounds. But Gary, well, Gary had always lived by the motto life is like a box of chocolates, even if they're in a toilet. Without a second thought, he dove right in, savoring every bite of that mysterious toilet chocolate. And then something magical happened. The toilet began to vibrate, then hover, and before Gary knew what was happening, he was airborne. But here's where it gets really wild. He wasn't alone. Looking around, he saw them, 5,000 other plus-sized gentlemen, each perched upon their own floating toilets, rising into the clouds like some sort of peculiar parade. Higher and higher they soared, through cotton candy clouds and past startled birds, until they broke through to a realm that defied all logic. There it was, Toilet Chocolate Land, floating majestically in the sky. A paradise where chocolate fountains flowed from golden toilets, where the streets were paved with chocolate bars, and where every porcelain throne was filled with the finest Belgian truffles. The air was thick with the scent of cocoa, and the sound of joyous laughter echoed across this bizarre wonderland. All 5,001 men had found their true home, a place where no one judged them for their unconventional chocolate-eating habits. They spent their days floating from toilet to toilet, sampling different varieties of chocolate, sharing stories, and finally feeling like they belonged. And you know what? Some say on quiet nights, if you look up at the sky just right, you might catch a glimpse of these jolly fellows, soaring through the stars on their porcelain steeds, living their best lives in the chocolate paradise. It just goes to show that sometimes the strangest situations can lead to the sweetest endings, even if they start in a toilet.